हेलो साथीहरू नमस्कार है फेरि पनि नमस्कार। अलिकता लाइनको समस्याले गर्दा चाहिँ क्लासमा अलिकति ब्रेकडाउन हुन पुग्यो। तैपनि साथीहरू फेरि हामी जोडिने क्रम जारी छ, जोडिँदैछौँ। अब म त्यही कुरालाई कन्टिन्यू गर्छु र लास्टमा चाहिँ मर्ज गरेर है दुईवटा भिडियोलाई चाहिँ मर्ज गरेर यहाँ म तपाईँलाई देखाउने छु। त्यतिन्जेलसम्म चाहिँ साथीहरूले यो कुरालाई जोइनिङ गर्नु पर्यो। अब हामी यहाँसम्म आइपुगेका थियौँ साथीहरू है। अब आज फेरि अहिले फेरि है हामी इम्पोर्टेन्ट अर्को टपिकमा छौँ है, इम्पोर्टेन्ट टपिकमा छौँ। केमा छौँ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ है, कुन टपिकमा छौँ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ है हामी चाहिँ हामीले के गर्नु पर्यो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ है यो भेरिएबल इन रिसर्च भन्छ क्या। रिसर्चमा के भेरिएबल हुन्छन्, भेरिएबल भनेको के हो है। भेरिएबल बिना रिसर्च हुँदैन है। भेरिएबल चाहिँ है एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट हुन्छन्। भेरिएबल इज द मेजरेबल क्यारेक्टरिस्टिक्स द्याट क्यान चेन्ज द रिसर्च है, द्याट क्यान एफेक्ट द रिसर्च। ओके, द्याट क्यान चेन्ज मेजरेबल क्यारेक्टरिस्टिक्स that can change or that can be changed, that can change or that can be changed. These are called variable. There are many types of variable, especially two kinds of variable: dependent and independent variable. Okay, dependent independent variable. Independent variable means cause variable, which are the cause of the research. They influence the another है, those variable that influence the another variable है, these are called independent variable. For example, tuition fee, salary, working hour, working condition, training है, political changes, these are the है independent variable. They influence the other variable. Okay, they change the other variable. Okay, dependent variable means they are affected by the independent variable. They are changed by the independent variable. Okay? They are also called outcome variable. Okay, outcome variable. For example, dropout rate, job satisfaction, job performance, productivity are the example of the dependent variable. These are greatly influenced by the independent variable. These are effects, effect variable. Now moderating variable means they promote the direction of relationship. They play the important role in relation between dependent and independent variable. They affect the strength or direction of relationship between dependent and independent variable. For example, scholarship availability. Scholarship availability is the moderating variable in high tuition fee and student dropout rate. Okay, control variable. Control variable means they are those kinds of variable which are kept constant to avoid the distortion. Distortion avoid गर्नको लागि constant राखिने variableलाई we can say that these are called control variable. For example, gender, age, academic background are called control variable. Next one is hypothesis and its meaning. Now we are going to discuss about What is hypothesis and its meaning? Hypothesis is the testable statement, tentative statement, testable and tentative statement, right, which predict the relations between dependent variable and independent variable. Okay, which hey, predict the relationship between okay different variable, okay, dependent variable and independent variable. Okay, hypothesis is the I already told you tentative assumption. It is a not proved. It is a tentative assumption. It is a tentative assumption made to test its logical and empirical consequences. Okay, to test the logical and empirical consequences, hypothesis is the tentative assumption. Okay, now characteristics of the good hypothesis. Okay, to be a good hypothesis, it should be clear and precise. Clear and precise. It should be testable. It should based on the theory. It is very simple. Okay, these are the characteristics of good hypothesis. Now, types of hypothesis. Null hypothesis, it is denoted by the H0. It's stated that no relationship between variable. There is no relationship between variable. Okay. For example, there is no significant relationship between tuition fee and dropout rate. It is the null hypothesis. Okay. Now, alternative hypothesis means there is existence of relationship, existence between the relationship or existence of relationship between the two variable, dependent variable and independent variable. For example, there is a significant positive relationship between tuition fee and dropout rate. Now it is another topic, directional hypothesis. Specify the direction, positive direction or negative direction. Okay, positive direction and negative direction. One increase, another increase. One decrease, another also decrease. Right? Or one increase, another increase. This is called directional hypothesis. For example, increase in tuition fee. That is the one direction. Increase in dropout rate, that is another, right? This is similar direction. Dropout rate also increase, then tuition fee also increase. Dropout rate and tuition fee have the similar direction. If hypothesis state the direction, this is called directional hypothesis. Another is the non-directional hypothesis. Non-directional hypothesis is no direction, right? Does not specify any direction, right? This is called a non-directional hypothesis. For example, there is a relationship between tuition fee and dropout. It is simple, but it not shows the any direction. It is simple, no direction, no any specific direction. Okay. Next topic is research methods. Okay, quantitative versus qualitative. First of all, we are going to discuss about quantitative research method. It focus on the number and measurement. Okay, quantitative means it based on number. Okay, and measurement. It uses the structure questionnaire. Okay, it uses the large sample. It uses the statistical analysis. Okay, example, solving 500 TU student using the Likert scale. Deductive, objective, generalizable and replicable. Okay, key feature of quantitative research. Now our qualitative research method focus on the meaning and experience, okay, not number and measurement, okay. For example, it can be taken in by interview, observation, case study. For example, in-depth interview with TU faculty member, right? This is an example of qualitative research method. The feature of qualitative research method is it is a inductive method, subjective, contest based, and it is flexible. Now, comparison table between uh, quantitative and qualitative research here. Quantitative research use the number data are number, expression number, data are expressed in the words, okay. Sample size is large and sample size in qualitative research is small. Analysis in quantitative method statistical, right? In qualitative research thematic, okay, theme based, okay. Purpose of the quantitative research is testing the hypothesis, okay. Then in qualitative research method, the purpose is understanding. Now, strength and weakness of the qualitative and quantitative methods, okay. First of all, quantitative research method. What are the strength of quantitative research are? It is precise, it is a fast, it is a comparable and measurable, okay. Its weakness are superficial, rigid, and misses why, right? While strength and weakness of qualitative research are strength in depth understanding, contextual, flexible, weakness are subjective, time consuming, limited generalization, right? Limited generalization. Now, sample design, data collection, measurement, scaling, reliability, and validity. First of all, sample design. First of all, what is sample? What is sampling? Sampling is the process of selecting the subset member, representative member from the large population. Okay, from the large population, this is called sampling. Choosing the subset, forming the subset from the large population. Why is sampling? Because we cannot read the entire population because it takes the more time and it costly. That's why it is difficult to study the whole population, entire population, because it take the more time and more costly. That's why we take the sampling, we take the representative, okay. Sample provide the reliable result, right? And if we properly selected it. Now some key terms, sampling terms. What is population? Population means entire group under the study, entire group, whole universe of the figure, people, object. For example, all TU-BB students are taken population. Sample is selected subset. Example, 300 BBA student. Sampling frame means list of the population element which are available. Okay, list of the population element which are available, which are enrolled, which are applicable. For example, student enrollment list. That is called sampling frame. Types of sampling, there are two types of sampling. One is probability sampling, or another is non-probability sampling. Probability sampling means there is the non chance of selection for the each element. Each element has the non and equal त भन्न मिल्दैन. Okay, non chance of a selection, while in non probability sampling there is unknown chance of selection. There is unknown chance of selection. Probability sampling is also subdivided into the types, different types. These are simple random sampling. Simple random sampling is a very popular and very useful and very unbiased sample method. Uh, eh, in this sampling, every unit has equal probability, equal chance of selection. Okay. For example, selecting student by using the lottery method. A lottery method, a but a student select garden, that is a simple random sampling. Every member has equal chance to be selected in this method. This method is very important, very good, because it is perfectly unbiased. It is perfectly unbiased. Okay. But it requires the complete list, right? That means it requires the good sample frame, right? Complete sample frame. Now to number two, stratified sampling. First of all, total population is divided into the homogeneous group, that is called strata. That is called strata. Then from the every strata, okay, we choose the sample. Okay. Then every strata, from the every strata, every group, we have to the select, or we have to pick out the sample. First of all, population is divided into the many groups: homogeneous group, similar group. Then from the similar group, or from the strata, from the homogeneous group, we select the sample. For example, strata in Tribhuvan University of Faculty of Management, BBA, BIM, BBS. Okay, some student selected from the BBA, some student from the BIM, some student from the BBS. Okay, it is more representative because it is useful if population is diverse. Population diverse छ भने यो मेथड, यो sampling method important हुन्छ. Very common in TU research, है. And then most of TU research based on the stratified sampling. Now systematic sampling. Systematic sampling means selecting the nth or kth element, है. For example, selecting the every 10th student from the attendance list, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, in such way. Okay. Now cluster sampling, cluster and stratified sampling are similar, but there is different. Okay, some different. First of all, population is divided into the cluster. Then cluster is randomly selected. Okay. In stratified, strata, population is divided into strata. Then from the every strata, we have to select the member or sample. But in cluster sampling, population is divided into the different cluster. We have the many cluster, 20 cluster. For example, 10 cluster. We prepare the 10 cluster. From the 10 cluster, we have select the one cluster, entire cluster. Then this is called cluster sampling. For example, selecting the 5 campus and serving the all students. Okay. And TU has the 62 autonomous campus. Okay. Angi campus. Okay. Uh, these are taken as the cluster. Okay, if we select the five campus, right, and five campuses and all students, this is called cluster sampling. Now is non-probability sampling. As I already told you, in non-probability sampling has unknown chance of selection. Every memory has no non chance of selection. That means unknown chance of selection. Okay. Selection based on judgment and convenience. Okay. Convenience and judgment of the researchers. It depends upon the researcher's choice. Of convenience sampling. eh, Convenience sampling means based on the availability and convenience. Okay. For easiness, for comfortness. If what available, we have to take the sample. For example, serving student present in classroom, but some student in outside, in field, in ground, in canteen. In this way, convenience sampling is done. Judgment or purposive sampling. Researchers select the knowledgeable respondent oneself according to the needs of the researcher. Okay, that is called judgments or purposive sampling. For example, interviewing campus only. That is called judgment or purposive sampling. Quota sampling. Quota sampling means population is divided into the fixed quota for the subgroup. Okay, it is related to the cluster sampling. 50 male and 50 female. This is called quota sampling. Data collection method. Primary data collection and secondary data collection method. Okay, primary data collection method divided into many types. Questionnaire method. Most common in management research, questionnaire, personality vidhi. Okay, prepare the different kinds of questions. Okay, because it is very good because it has a low cost, large coverage, response, but it has a limitation. Response bias maybe. Example, Likert skill survey of TU student. We can use the Likert skill for preparing the questionnaire. Another is interview method, direct interaction, direct talk with the respondent, in depth information, time, but it is a time consuming. It is a time consuming. It may be three types: structure, question already prepared, right? Then semi-structure, and some questions are some issue are already prepared, but some are on the spot. On structure means on the spot. What happened on the spot? Number three, observation method, eh, regarding the behavior in the natural setting. Okay, what is the behavior in the natural setting? Regarding the behavior, right, in natural setting. For example, observing classroom participation. Right, this is the example of the observation. Now, secondary data collection by using the books, journal, TU records, government reports. For example, TU exam result, CBS reports. Another topic is very important topic is measurement and scaling. Measurement and scaling. Measurement means process of assigning number or symbol to the characteristics according to the rule. Okay, measurement means we have to assign the number or symbol according to the characteristics. Right? For example, assigning number to the satisfaction level, that is called measurement. Okay, we have to assign the number or symbol. Right? There are four types of measurement scales: nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale, ratio scale. Now nominal scale, classification only, naming only. Okay, not order. No arithmetic, no interval. Okay. For example, gender, right? Naming, right? Nominal means naming, male and female, right? Program BB and BBS. This kinds of scaling is called nominal scale. It is not order, right? It has no order, no arithmetic. Now ordinal means order, making the rank, okay? Ranking possible, right? That means example class position first, second and third. Order exists but no equal interval. There is no equal interval, okay? Interval हुँदैन, only ranking only, okay? Ratio after the ordinal, then interval scale. Interval scale means equal interval. Equal interval, no true zero, okay? For example, temperature and Likert scale. Then addition and subtraction is possible. Ratio scale. Ratio scale, all properties included true zero. Example, income, age, marks obtained. Most powerful scale. Among the all scale, most powerful scale is ratio scale. Okay. It has rank also, interval also. Okay. Rank is none as well as interval also none. Memory tips. Right? NOIR. Nominal, ordinal, interval ratio. Important topic is here, reliability and validity. What is meaning of reliability and validity? Reliability means consistency of measurement. If measurement is consistency, okay, that is called reliability. If repeated measurement give the same result, okay? If repeated measurement give the same result, that is called reliable, okay? Or that is, this feature is called reliability. Types of reliability: test, retest reliability, same test at the different time. Split half reliability, okay? One test divided into two parts. Inter-rated reliability, different observer, right? By the different observer, okay? If result is same, that is called reliability. Now validity is accuracy. Right? Validity is accuracy. What we intend to measure, okay? What we intend to measure, okay? Then we found that is called validity. Suppose we supposed to measure, okay? Then what we measure, okay? What is our intent? Reliable instrument may not be valid, but valid instrument may be reliable. Okay, reliable not will be the may not be valid, but valid instrument must be reliable. That is one important quotation. Reliable may not be valid, but valid instrument must be reliable. There are three kinds of validity: content validity, construct validity, र criterion validity. 3C है, 3C भनेर सम्झिने है. Remember 3C: content, construct and criterion. Okay, construct, content र criterion. Content validity means coverage the entire concept. If the it cover the entire concept. Construct means measure a theoretical construct, and criterion means compare with external standard, right? That is called criterion validity. Now difference between the validity and reliability. Meaning of reliability is consistency. The meaning of validity is accuracy. Reliability focus on stability, while validity focus on truthfulness. there is relation without validity. Reliability can be exist without validity, but to be validity, it requires the reliability. First of all, reliability is important. Okay. Research report writing. Now, what is interpretation? First of all, what is interpretation? Interpretation means explaining, explain or defining the meaning of analyzed data in simple language. Okay, in simple language, explain गर्ने explaining the meaning of analyzed data in simple language. It requires the data analysis and interpretation. Data analysis give the number. Then according to the data analysis or according to the number, we have to give the meaning. We have to give the meaning that this process is called interpretation. This is called interpretation. Purpose of interpretation, that means number one, explain the finding logically. Okay. Second one is relate the result up to the objective. Match the result and objective. Compare with previous studies. Compare with previous studies and draw the conclusion. This is a purpose of interpretation of data. In context of TU, for example, correlation between tuition fee and dropout rate is 0.65. Now interpretation, that is the result, data analysis result. Okay, this is a number. Now interpretation is this indicates the positive relationship between strong positive relation between tuition fee and dropout rate. Dropout, when tuition fee is increased, then dropout rate also increase. Okay. Now report writing. Report writing or research report. What is research report? Okay, research report. After doing all research, okay, then we have to write in document. Okay, documentation. Research report means documentation. Okay, systematic, systematically, logically, formally presentation of research work in document. Okay, in document in soft copy or in hard copy. Systematic, logically and formally presentation of research work. Okay, writing गर्ने, documentation गर्ने. Research report is structured document that communicate the research process, finding and conclusion. Research process के भयो, okay, के फाइन्डिङ भयो र के कन्क्लुजन ड्र भयो, यो सम्पूर्ण कुराहरूलाई रिटन फर्ममा ओके रिटन फर्ममा यो के हो, रिपोर्ट्स, रिसर्च रिपोर्ट हो. It is a final product of research. Final product. It is the final product, finished product. It is the finished product. Final product of the research process. Importance of research report. Why we have to make the research report? First of all, communicate the finding. Communicate the finding and help in decision making. Serve as the reference document and at the body of language, cumulative to the knowledge. Types of research report. Technical report. First of all, technical report. Technical report, this is the in detail, detail form. Statistical, it is the academic language. Use for thesis. Okay, अनि जनरल आर्टिकल्स For the assistant professor research, technical report are used. Now popular report. A popular report, it is a simple in language. Okay. Use the graph and charts for general reader. Use for manager, policymaker, media, etc. This is called popular report. Okay. Popular report and technical report. Okay. Now structure of रिसर्च रिपोर्ट. ओके स्ट्रक्चर के छ त है कहिले स्ट्रक्चर सोध्न सक्छ फर्मेट सोध्न सक्छ ओके ट्युमा स्ट्रक्चर कस्तो हुनुपर्छ त है रिसर्च रिपोर्टको स्ट्रक्चर कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ सबभन्दा पहिलोमा ए नम्बर प्रिलिमिनरी पेज सुरुको पेजहरूमा है के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि टाइटल पेज डिक्लेरेसन है त्यसपछि रिकमेन्डेसन र एप्रुभल एक्नोलेजमेन्ट abstract and then table of content. Okay, it is very important for abstract. Abstract is very important. Its purpose, method, key finding, conclusion. Then abstract should be included. Now main body. Okay, chapter main body. Okay, first one preliminary page first of all. Okay, then second is main body. Main body contain the first one chapter 1 introduction. Introduction chapter 1 introduction include the background of study, then statement of problem, objective, research question and hypothesis, significance, then scopes and limitation. These are the subtitle of introduction. Okay, then chapter 2 review of literature and theoretical framework. It include review of previous studies, research gap, conceptual and theoretical framework. Chapter 2. Chapter 3 research methodology. It include the research design, population and sampling technique, data courses, tools and technique, reliability and validity. Okay, reliability and validity. Now data analysis and result. Chapter 4 table, charts, statistical test, interpretation. Rule, no opinion here, only result. No opinion here. Okay. Chapter 5 summary, conclusion and recommendation, major finding, then conclusion, recommendation, implication, suggestion for the future research. Okay, in matter, okay, reference and bibliography, appendices, questionnaire and interview guides. These are in matter. Special three parts: preliminary page, main body has the 5 chapters and in the matter. Again, we are going to repeat it. It is very important. Research report structure can be divided into 3 parts. 3 main part: preliminary phase, main body, and in part. In preliminary page include title page, declaration, recommendation and approval, acknowledgement, abstract, table of content. Okay. Then part 2, main body. Main body has the 5 chapter. Chapter 1, introduction. Introduction include the background of study. Okay, in funnel way. Okay, funnily. Golub means Golub, then Asia, then Nepal. Okay. Then statement of problem. Then objective, resource question and hypothesis, significance, and scope and limitation in introduction part. Okay. Second one is literature review and theoretical framework. A review of previous studies, research gap, conceptual and theoretical framework. Chapter 3, research methodology, research design, population and sample, sampling technique, data source, tools and technique, reliability and validity. Chapter 4, data analysis and result, table, chart, statistical test and interpretation. Chapter 5, summary, conclusion, recommendation. It includes the major finding, conclusion, recommendation, implication or suggestion for future. Now in matter, reference and bibliography, appendixes and questionnaire and interview guides. Now presentation of research finding. How to present the research finding, another topic. Method of presentation, textual presentation, tabular presentation, and diagrammatic presentation. Okay. Textual presentation means explanation in words. Tabular presentation means tables for comparison, and diagrammatic presentation, bar chart, pie chart, line graph, etc. Okay. Now research ethics. Ethics means moral. Okay, moral principles. Research ethics refer to the moral principle and standards. Okay, that govern the research behavior. Right? That rule the researcher behavior. Okay, researcher behavior. Okay. It is extremely important, right? Very important. Right? Major ethical issue in research. First of all, informed consent. Right? Informed consent भन्छ है। हामीले चाहिँ रेस्पोन्डेन्टसँग चाहिँ सल्लाह गरेर इन्फर्म गरेर के गर्ने है, रेस्पोन्स लिने है। पार्टिसिपेन्ट मस्ट बी नो अबाउट द है पर्पज अफ रिसर्च, देयर राइट्स। ओके। देन कन्फिडेन्सियालिटी एन्ड एनोमिटी है। पर्सनल इन्फर्मेसन मस्ट बी प्रोटेक्टेड है। नेम शुड नट बी डिस्क्लोज है। द्याट इज कल another ethical issue. No harm to participants. Okay. No one participants are harmed by the physically, psychologically, and socially. Avoidance of plagiarism. Okay. No copying. Proper citation is required. No falsification and no fabrication. Data integration. No fabrication. No falsification. Right? There is no way. Fabrication is not allowed, and manipulation or falsification also not allowed. Golden rule: unethical research, that is equal to invalid research. Okay. Now common mistake. A common mistake in research. First of all, mistake 1, confusing the topic with problem. Topic is imply motivation. Problem is imply motivation at a Nepal bank declined by 20% in 2024. Then examiner expect a problem, not a heading. Mistake 2, weak literature review. Summarize, not summarize. It requires a synthesize. Okay, synthesize science. Okay. Mistakes between the objective and analysis. Objective is one side, analysis is one side. There is no mistake 3. Mistake 4 is wrong sampling. Sampling, proper sampling is required. Mistake 5, ignoring reliability and validity. We consider about the reliability and validity. We have to check the alpha. Alpha is possible. But alpha we have to check. ओके साथीहरू, यो कुरा भयो है। यी कुराहरू हामीले आज गरेका छौँ। रिसर्चको इथिकल कुराहरूदेखि लिएर, त्यसपछि रिपोर्ट राइटिङ कसरी लेख्ने भन्ने कुरादेखि लिएर, ओके, त्यसै गरेर है रिपोर्ट राइटिङका कुराहरू, इन्टरप्रिटेसनका कुराहरू, त्यसपछि रियाबिलिटी र भ्यालिडिटीको मिनिङ र डिफ्रेन्सहरू, त्यसै गरेर डिफ्रेन्ट स्केल, मेजरमेन्ट स्केलहरू है, त्यसै गरेर डेटा कलेक्सनका मेथडहरू, प्राइमेरी डेटा, सेकेन्डरी डेटाका कुराहरू, स्याम्पलिङका कुराहरू है, स्याम्पलिङका कुराहरू है, प्रोबेबिलिटी स्याम्पलिङ र नन प्रोबेबिलिटी स्याम्पलिङको बारेमा पढेका छौँ। त्यसपछि स्याम्पल डिजाइनको बारेमा पढ्यौँ, ओके। त्यसै गरी क्वान्टिटेटिभ र क्वालिटेटिभ रिसर्चका रिसर्च मेथडको बारेमा पढ्यौँ है। त्यसै गरेर हाइपोथेसिसको बारेमा पढ्यौँ, प्रब्लम स्टेटमेन्टका कुराहरू पढ्यौँ, भ्यारिएबलको बारेमा पढ्यौँ है। त्यसै गरेर फ्रेमवर्क हो, हाइपोथेसिस फ्रेमवर्कको कुरा, प्रब्लम स्टेटमेन्ट पढ्यौँ। त्यसपछि हाइपोथेसिस फ्रेमवर्क कसरी बनाउने, लिटरेचर रिभ्यूको बारेमा पढ्यौँ है। लिटरेचर रिभ्यूका सोर्सको बारेमा पढ्यौँ है। र लिटरेचर रिभ्यू किन इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ त्यो कुरा पढ्यौँ है। यी कुराहरू आज हामीले गरेका छौँ। यो यो टपिक, यो पार्ट युनिट 2 इज भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ। ल साथीहरू, आजलाई हामी यति नै गर्छौँ। बाँकी अन्य कन्टेन्टमा आउनेछौँ, ओके।